Welcome! You join me today as I head towards Moosic Mountain in northeastern Pennsylvania, and specifically the Eales Preserve. I'm flying solo today, much like this little fella that strolled out in front of me. I'd read about this location and, now that the warmer weather has finally appeared, decided to make the trip out to see it. I am purposefully ignoring the blue skies as clouds are forecast. In fact, somewhere in the magical 50 to 60% range. Hearing that the entrance is quite hidden, I was glad a departing car alerted me to its impending arrival. This isn't the largest car park, but neither does it look too busy, which suits me. First things first, ensuring proper hydration. This shouldn't be a long hike, but I will be taking a good amount of water with me. And because that can be quite boring, I'm trying out these sachets, which replenish electrolytes and are keto friendly. It's lemonade today. This is a tripod I use to shoot B-roll, and that is the top of the tripod that I use to shoot B-roll. Okay, just sheared off for no apparent reason. So with broken tripod left behind, I grabbed my bag and started the strenuous walk to the information boards, about 100 feet away, stopping only to take in the first wisps of clouds starting to form in the otherwise totally blue sky. There's plenty of good info on the boards, but the main purpose for me was to take a quick photo of the trail before I then headed off down the gravel track, crossed the stream and turned towards Conglomerate Loop. After maybe only 5 minutes, I was at the start of the loop proper. So, left or right? Decisions. I chose right, and a short distance on, I stopped to take in the view. I think we should mark this as a possible. Path is an S-curve. There's a tree which you can get on a third. There's plenty of sky. And with the forecast of about 60% cloud and somewhat open in the west, that's a recipe for a really good sunset. I've just gone and jinxed it, haven't I? It's almost high desert plain type landscape up here, with only a few trees. Maybe that's due to the rocky terrain. After all, this is Conglomerate Loop. It's a little windy, but very peaceful up here. It's a hiking and mountain biking trail, so not sure how quiet it would be at the weekends in summer, but for now, I'm very much enjoying it. With clouds forming, there is some lovely light shining through. Just look at those light rays. Now, if only that would move closer to this tree. My main tripod is now dual function with an arm supporting the video camera, but that gave me a chance to stand back and relax as I shot a time lapse. Before grabbing a quick image.
Then it was off along the trail once again.
Here's my choice. Continue on Conglomerate Loop or head to Stonehenge. And one thing I have to point out, the promised clouds have moved in very quickly. However, they're a little more dark and menacing than I was expecting. And I do have to bear in mind, I'm on top of a mountain here. So should it start raining, or I see any lightning, I'm going to have to make a swift retreat to the car.
Being sensible, I opted to continue along Conglomerate Loop and save Stonehenge for another day.
Now I believe that's Throop, or Troop, somebody said to me. Don't know which, Throop or Troop. Sure somebody out there knows. And then I think the next valley across is North Scranton, or Dixon City I think it's called.
Conglomerate Loop is about 1.3 miles in length, and despite a few loose rocks, the trail is fairly easy, if you watch your footing. And it wasn't long before I came across this dead tree. But what made this appealing to me was the way that the clouds were in the sky. So cue another time lapse.
And we're back where we almost started from. There's definitely a gap to the west. That's west-ish. So are we going to get sunlight coming in underneath and giving us a sunset? Let's go and think about this.
And that think was well timed, as I managed to not be out in a brief rain shower, which luckily quickly passed, but left behind some decidedly thick clouds.
I've had a quick drink, something to eat. Got about 40 minutes until sunset. There's a little sliver over there starting to develop, but I don't know whether that's actually a break in the cloud or just a lighter cloud.
But with the clouds looking the way they did and a chance of good light, I had to take the gamble, so headed back towards Conglomerate Loop, returning to my favourite tree from earlier.
Missed this the first time. Tiny little path just off to the side as we're heading for Conglomerate Loop. I was told there's a waterfall here. I didn't believe them, and I'm hoping that is not the waterfall. Back on Conglomerate Loop, it seems to be raining a little bit here. Nothing too bad, haven't even got a jacket on. But there's a definite gap in the cloud on the horizon.
You can see a visible gap to the north, and more importantly a gap to the west. But would it last, and would it be enough?
This is basically my composition there, with a flat grey sky behind it. And the break in the cloud is over there with a little bit of colour. And more breaks in the cloud over there. And of course, as the wind's blowing, all of that cloud is heading quite quickly that way.
This is my quick shot to check the composition, which I do like, especially that curving path. All I need now is that killer sky.
Okay, so that didn't happen. But now for the fun bit. Walking out in the dark. Luckily, I remembered to bring my torch with me. But the colours there, it just didn't quite spread to here. Never mind. I will be back because I like this place. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed travelling along with us today, a like and a subscribe would be much appreciated. Until next time.